Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview, Everton versus Manchester City, joined by Steve Kelly in what could be, well, it's a huge game. Huge game for both clubs.
It is.
But obviously for us, penultimate home game of the season. I know it's a very, very tough one. But obviously we're facing Manchester City at a time when it could work out very, very fortuitous for us, but sandwiched between the Real Madrid Champions League semi-final games. So does that fill you with optimism, Steve?
Considering we were like Man City on Monday night, it's like no, it's a tough game. Whatever City side he puts out, I'm sure if Grealish gets taken out, you got the likes of Foden who can come in, Mahrez, Alvarez. It is a tough test, but like you said, they've got another huge game themselves on Wednesday night against Real Madrid, and the game's in the balance, really, isn't it? 1-1 from the first leg. So I think Everton just needs to stick to the game plan, and the way we played on Monday should give the players, and I think it's put the fans a bit more relaxed after what happened on Monday. But we've still got loads to do ourselves. So, and I know Arsenal are breathing down City's next. Well, fair play to Arsenal; they haven't stopped all season. So.
Yeah, it's a huge game for both, obviously for both teams, as you said. They're Man City play ahead of Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like Arsenal think play for R4, they're a point ahead. They will still have that game in hand, obviously, after Arsenal played. City have not got, you look at their fixtures, City's fixtures are not easy for the rest of the season. And Arsenal still breathing down next, so they've still got to, it's not like they can just throw this game away and go, doesn't matter. And obviously when you look at the squad, they can make changes and the squad's still brilliant, but it does give Everton that opportunity that if Everton are clever and obviously throw everything at them and have a relentless work rate. Again, it's similar, this game's similar to what happened last week, like sitting there Monday, is we go up against the team that have played a few days before, and we've got to take advantage of that, like we did against Brighton. Brighton, it was early on, certainly in that first half, we were running at them. There was 4 or 5 players every time we got the ball, running at them, trying to find the space, trying to find the weaknesses to give us that opportunity, give us the lead, so that in the second half, when we knew we were going to come under the cosh naturally, and maybe they make subs, that we had that little bit of obviously the head start in terms of goals. And I think it's got to be something similar. I don't think we can rest on our laurels, because that allows Man City to get into the game. And if there are those aches and pains or whatever else, it allows players to get that little bit of adrenaline going. I think on Sunday we have to be at it from the first minute.
Definitely.
Absolutely, the whole place, the players, the ground has got to be on it. Because if you let it settle, that's what City love. They absolutely love that. Just the game becomes a little bit.
They bore teams. They pass. And like you said, I think even if it's an early tackle where you just gets the crowd going, City are like, this is going to be a tougher game. It might have been a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of people are looking at this game for City as the one which they could slip up in. I think Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville talking about the other day, saying Goodison's the one which City will worry about, because, but. Like I said, like you just said there as well, it's we've got to come out the blocks, because, like I said, if we let City grow into the game, they've got the players who can pick us apart as well.
And the other side of that is, for City to slip, Everton have to put maximum effort in, and City have to be below maximum effort. And the only way that comes is if you start quickly, and then you do, like you just said, maybe a little bit of a couple of sly ones. Let people know you're there. Let people know that you're there, and actually you better watch yourself. You think you're playing on Wednesday night against Real Madrid, or you think you're playing in the next big game? Well, maybe not. The big game's coming up.
Yeah,
you might make it. So
exactly.
I'm sorry, that might sound like a bit of an old school way of looking at things, but you've got to, haven't you? You've got to take every advantage. Everton can't outplay Manchester City, but they've got to get in their faces, and they've got to go. If you're going to beat us today, you better do it in a manner that everyone goes, fair enough, these were too good for us. We did everything we can. And that's the way it's got to be. You've got to... Monday night's gone now. It's gone. It was a great win. It was a great occasion for everyone there, but it's gone.
Yeah.
And we can't go... look at our last few home games. Newcastle, Fulham. We can't be going back to that again. No. It's got to be with these games. Obviously, by the time the kickoff comes around, we'll know how Leeds have gone on against
and
Newcastle.
As well.
Yeah, Leicester obviously is on the Monday night. This is a huge opportunity to just try and just chip away and get that, whether it's a point or be dreamland. Obviously, it was 3 points, but we've got to be on it.
No, yeah, and I think there's going to be some interest when you were saying there about niggles. I think there's going to be a few good interesting battles. Obviously, Yerry Mina Haaland, if Haaland plays, will be an interesting one, I think.
If Yerry Mina plays.
If Yerry Mina plays as well. But you see what Mina, like just an example there with Mina at the Brighton game, when he's got that lad's shirt.
Yeah.
And he's basically strangling the lad, and I think that lad got took off at half time.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing for the rest of that half, and I think, like you said, we just got to disrupt every little, break the game up, do what they do at times. City, Rodri's the best in the league at giving fouls away in little positions and slowing the game down.
Yeah.
I think it's a big part of our midfield's going to have to be on it.
Everyone's going to have to be on it.
But the midfield area is the key part.
But everyone's going to have to be switched on, aren't they? Because we saw that against Brighton now early on. They picked the ball up and they kept on playing with someone on their left-hand side every time, doing the same and same again. And it'll be the same in this game. They'll keep on doing it, and that is that concentration. That is making sure that the fella behind you doesn't slip into the space between the centre-back and the full-back, because that will happen continuously. And then when we get the opportunity, we've got to be ready to break. And obviously, I don't think there's any. You're not going to No, everyone understands who's going to be there. Everyone understands that. It's not like we're going to be sitting there with the ball, passing it round. We don't get that in the best of games. So it's going to be City having a lot of the ball, and us just having that same game plan. And I suppose that's what's good about this game is it's going to have the same game plan pretty much as we did on...
Probably going to have about 20% possession that we did on Monday night.
Might have to settle for 4 goals then, if that's the case.
No, but you know what I mean? I think Everton have always been a better team though when they haven't had the ball. Yeah. You look at the
less ball, the better.
Yeah, under Moyes, we never used to... I always remember them. We used to go away from home sometimes, pick us up. Like when we used to go to Man City at times, away under Moyes, we used to have hardly anything of the ball, and then we'd get 2 goals and you'd be going away for 3 points. So I think, like I said, I think the midfield, I think Decore's going to be right on it, because obviously he wasn't really on it the Newcastle game after he come back from suspension, but then he come back on Monday, he was brilliant.
But and you know, without again stressing the same point, it is, you've got to make sure it's not after the Lord made parade. You know, we've all got a little bit of an extra spring in our step this week after that win. It's all give us that little bit of extra
100%,
hope and a little bit of, encouragement that we can get out of it, because obviously 2 points at this stage of the season mean ahead of those teams, and if we can get another point, and that makes it 3 or whatever, or it's such fine margins at this stage of the season. Teams, us and teams around us, they're not going to win 2 or 3 games. You'd be lucky if anyone at the bottom now picks up 2 wins. They're getting out of it. It's as simple as that. So
that's how us and Forest probably looked at Monday. If we win, say we did, if we win on Sunday, most fans would probably say Everton are probably nearly safe.
City have been relentless, haven't they? I mean, you've got to go back to the 5th of February, 1-0 defeat against Tottenham. On the 18th of February, they drew 1-1 with Forest away, where they missed a hat load of chances that day. Yeah. And since then, apart from in the Champions League, where you've had a couple of draws, it's just been win after win after win. They just do this every year.
They do it every year. Yeah. They do. It's relentless.
How much do you think then that this game being between the Champions League games can have a factor on? We know what they're like at this stage of the season, but do you think there might be that because they haven't won a Champions League? Of course, semi-final last year, fell apart against Real Madrid this time last year. Year before, they got to the final, got beat by Chelsea. But do you think that's what it's all about? Them having maybe one eye on that game and thinking. I mean, Pep Guardiola won't, because he stresses out. You've seen that against Leeds when they missed the penalty, saying that's you can't do that. You got to be professional. You're being too nice. But do you think that maybe just having that one eye off it and us totally honed in on this game could be just that little ray of hope that we're looking for?
Yeah, we've got to hope, haven't we? But with Man City and good players in general, I don't think good players look at it like that because they're at the very top end of the spectrum in regards to their careers and whatever. A lot of players do treat every game like the same.
Yeah.
Like you look at some of them, and I just couldn't imagine Man City players going out and being like that. And Pep, you said, I don't think Pep will let them either. And some of them are playing for potential getting into the semi-final team. But I know what you mean about that. But I do think they've got a great manager who wouldn't allow that.
One thing I will say though is, just looking at the results for them this season, for this half of the season, they're not exactly blowing teams away from home either. I'm just looking at some of the results here. You know, they went to Arsenal, to beat them 3-1. Then they drew with Forest 1-1. Bournemouth, 4-1. But Crystal Palace, they went away and beat them 1-0.
1-0.
Southampton, they beat them 4-1. Fulham 2-1. Of it, you know, they're not exactly running away from teams as such. You know, I know there's a couple in there. I grant you that.
Yeah.
But you know, getting a beat by Tottenham 1-0 away from home. So, as I said, you know, there's still.
I think if Everton get chances, they've just got to take them. Like, you know,
well, yeah.
To Mike Cosgrove quote that
it
way,
is very much.
But we're not going to get many chances, mate. And if we do, we've got to make the most of them. And I'll be honest with you, if we could get a draw, I think it'd be an unbelievable result for that.
Yeah, the draw. Listen, a draw if the results go our way would be. If you'd offered me a draw,
4 points
you offered me a draw right now, I'd take it because I don't care how the game goes. City are just that kind of team. We seen that last year. You know, nothing. You know, it's a very close game. 5 minutes to go or whatever. You get a goal, and then we don't get a penalty. You know, which obviously in the way things turned out, it was never a penalty. But if you'd offered me a draw and if there was an opportunity, obviously if results went our way, to be 3 points away ahead of Leicester, 3 points ahead of Leeds, and maybe being on the same points as Forest. That with 2 games to go, which, I mean, those 2 games mean nothing to the 2 teams we're playing, but they'll mean absolutely everything to us.
Yeah.
And it keeps it in our hands, and that's all it is, isn't it? It's just keeping it in your hands as you go into those last couple of games. And listen, Everton could be beaten in this game, but it could still be in our hands. But I'm not necessarily thinking like that because, number one, I'm an Evertonian, and number two, nobody expected us to be biting 5-1. Exactly. So there's results now where people are going, on paper, they're not beating them, but that's not how football works. That's why it's the most popular game in the world.
Yeah. And that's why it's probably best not to look at all the fixtures.
Yeah, I try not to.
I know you've been doing that a lot this season. It's trying to, after last season, I suppose, wasn't it? It was like last season was the lesson. But no, it's going to be incredibly tough. And like I said, if we can get something out of it, I think it'll go a long way of keeping us in the league, if I'm honest. And if we got to win, bloody hell, it'd be nearly feet up then, mate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we won, I mean, Jesus Christ, that would be...
Man City, you can afford to lose one.
Yeah, I think so. Let's just have a look at the Man City team from their last game. This is from the Leeds game, so obviously they've got the likes of Lewis in midfield, Mahrez, Foden, out wide, obviously Haaland played but didn't score. Gundogan obviously got a couple of goals. But obviously, in the game against Real Madrid, there was the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva played, Rodri played. It was more of a back 4 than a back 3. So, do you think we're going to get more of a team like that against Everton on Sunday rather than the likes of Kevin? I don't think Kevin De Bruyne will play Sunday. I think he's had too many injuries of recent. I think they'll wrap him in cotton wool for this game. And I could see maybe a Bernardo Silva or a Jack Grealish not playing as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Alvarez will come in. I think Phil Foden will come in. I expect them to keep Rodri in for that game against us because the physicality side. Yeah. That Rico Lewis he's only young kid. And I don't know if Pep would look at that and think, is it the best? But I don't know. But he trusts his players, doesn't he? Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, they could make 6 changes,
Yeah.
mate. And it's,
Oh, listen.
like, Mahrez is a good player. He always does pretty well against us as well. Foden's the same.
Yeah.
Like, Gundogan's a good player. They got Calvin Phillips, who's a England international on the bench. He's not even getting a game. Yeah, they've got...
It's fine margins, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fine margin. But as I said, like, because Kevin De Bruyne played 2 games in a row, I just think he'll leave him out for this one. I think he might think he's got enough with some of his other players.
He might be, yeah. And they've got, like I said, like you said there, they got, like, Foden who can come in, Mahrez, players like that. So I'm sure whatever team he puts out, yeah.
Let's have a little look at Haaland's numbers from this season. Yeah, 32 games, 35 goals in the Premier League, 7 assists, 3.6 shots per game. He hasn't scored in his last 2. You know what I mean? This is a barren run for him. This is a barren run for him. Dixie's safe. He's all right. I think he's going to be all right.
Convinced he was missing chances on purpose against Leeds, honestly.
He does have that though, doesn't he? Yeah. He had that, something like that Forest game that he drew 1-1 in. Very similar in that. He missed quite a few in that. And so he does have the games where he just seems to, where he can't hit a barn door, but others he just...
Let's hope he's just saving himself for next Wednesday. But yeah, he's unbelievable. And he's like I said before, if Yerry Mina plays, I think that'll be an interesting battle. I think, he's going to have his hands full, Mina, isn't he? But we didn't do too bad against them, actually, did we? Well, Godfrey, I think it was.
Godfrey got into him, didn't he? Well, obviously, going back to the Etihad in December, 1-1 draw. Obviously, it was a stunning goal by us. I think that day was a bit of the, they got we'd put a lot of resistance up. Yeah. They got the goal, but then they never capitalised on it because it was because it was like December time. I think it was that period where it wasn't that
just
far,
after Christmas,
after the World Cup, wasn't it?
Sorry, after.
Obviously they just come. Think it was their. I think it was their first Premier League game. I think they played against Liverpool. I think just before Christmas in the League Cup. But it was that thing of like not being in the kill mode that they do get themselves into. So we got away with it that day, and let's hope we get away with it on Sunday.
Fingers crossed, maybe. Yeah, could do with getting something again.
Let's just have a little look at our team. Would you see? I'd
just keep the same.
Yeah, you'd just expect it, unless there's some kind of injury issues that we're not aware of, or
the only one I've seen a few people mention is Onana for James Garner. That's the only one I've seen mentioned, really.
I just don't know how you can change a 5-1 winning team. I don't know unless there's an issue. And Onana hasn't been amazing this season.
No, he hasn't.
And I think what happens with Garner will sit, and
I think off the ball.
James Garner, he'll sit, won't he? And where Onana mightn't always do that. And I know Onana's great for the tackle and so on, but. I think
James Garner's probably better off the ball for this type of game as well. Like getting around the pitch. And Onana's probably playing in their team, to be honest with you. But
yeah. I mean, there you go. It's gonna be a very, very tough game. But listen, it was always going to be a tough game. It's always a tough game. What we've got to do is just be at it, haven't we? We've got to be absolutely at it. Yeah. Everybody, the whole crowd, and.
2:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. 2 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
Is it 2?
2. You'll be late. Oh, you'll be late.
Is it?
You'll be late at 2 o'clock.
I've told someone 2:30. No, I'll have to tell them.
Tell Man City fans it's after. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What are your feelings? Are you optimistic? Do you think this could be the one where everything just falls into place? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already and you want more great videos. Join us over on Toffee TV Premier. The link is in the description and the QR code is coming up on the screen in a moment. See you later.